Hi, Avid Excel Scholars. This is Mrs. Cruz with our weekly announcements for week 3, quarter 4. As you saw last week, the biggest introduction that we had was that we are now doing tutorials. So if you feel a little stuck on what to do and how to do that, I am going to I'm going to post the video that I did last week right here where it says Zoom and Jamboard TRF. So if you click on that video, it should explain to you how to do that. You can also find that video posted on April 20th in our Google Classroom. There is a link there that says TRFs and tutorials, so that will also give you an idea on how to do that. It is from last week, but it's the same information, so just make sure you do that. If you click on this week, I have already posted it, so you should see TRF and Jamboard for Wednesday's tutorial. And remember that our tutorials are going to be at the same time. I'll show you the time. But basically, you have 2 steps to complete. One is the TRF, and remember, if you watch the video, I kind of explained how to do that. And then the second part is the Jamboard, which looks like this. So please watch the video for how to do that. Remember that the Jamboard, don't hit the turn in button until after the tutorial, so you can work on it during your tutorial session. Okay, but if we go back to our weekly schedule, just kind of going back a little bit, it does have the inspirational quote for the week, which says, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. And I thought this quote was meaningful during this time since we're not allowed to really go out and do very much. So it's really important that you look around you in your homes to really appreciate what you do have. And I think that will add a lot of meaning to your life right now. Also, the Scholar goal this week is to check your student portal at least 3 times per week. Always check it to make sure it's correct, and know that right now your grades are updated for week 1 and week 2, and shortly I'll be updating your grades for week 3. So just make sure you're looking there to see what your grades like. Last week you also got points for your tutorial pre-work, and you got points for going to the tutorial, so keep that in mind as well. Okay, as far as this week goes, you were assigned your weekly log. There are some changes, so I'm going to quickly go over that. I assigned your virtual TRF, which I just showed you. And remember that your TRF and Jamboard should be done by 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. And then that Wednesday at 12:30, you have your Zoom tutorial for participation points. And then later on, an hour later, I have optional office hours if you want to drop by, ask me questions, or just say hi. And then throughout the week, just make sure that you're you're working on your weekly logs. This week, your goal is about initiative, which we'll quickly look at. Then make sure you're working on each slide every day. So Monday slide today, Tuesday slide the next day, and so on. So just make sure you're looking at that. And then at the end of the week, make sure that you look at the grade check and also the end of the week goal reflection. Okay, so let's quickly look at our weekly logs to kind of see any changes this week. So one addition that I have added this week is that I have added a celebration wall. So if you click this link, it takes you to add a celebration, and I thought it would be a really cool way of really sharing anything that you are proud of, that you're thankful for, anything that made you laugh or smile. So you can even post like a quote, a picture, a meme, a GIF, as long as it's appropriate, obviously, or any kindness that you experienced this week. I have already posted the first post. So if you look in our Google Classroom, I posted a picture of me holding a turtle, and I said that I was able to save a turtle this week that was wandering around in the streets. If you could put a little like on my comment, you could reply back. You could also just add your own here. So if you click the little plus sign here on the screen, it will give you a chance to add your own post too. You can add an image if you want to. If you just wanted to write it out, that's okay too. But just try to add to our celebration wall. Okay, this step is the same. This time around, we have our goal about taking initiative, and here it tells you taking initiative is when you're doing the right thing without being told to. So we know that sometimes you have to find a solution to a problem that might come up, and here's some problems that I kind of brainstormed. But maybe you don't understand an assignment, maybe you don't know how to use Zoom or any other type of technology like an Edpuzzle or a Jamboard or whatever the case is. Maybe you don't know, or you notice that an assignment is posted without like an important attachment. So your question is, how can you show initiative? So I want you to think about yourselves in a way that you need to show more initiative. Maybe you need to make sure you're emailing your teachers more. Maybe you need to make sure that you're just trying your best. So just tell me how you're going to show initiative this week. And then remember that when you're typing in your goals, we're looking for you to fill out everything in blue here. So make sure you tell us what you're going to do. Okay, this part's the same. I talked to the tutors and we said, once again, the to-do part is like your daily agenda. What are you going to do for each day? We don't want any blanks, so tell me what you're learning or any quick update from your teachers that day. And then the assignments due, you could leave it blank if you would like to. You just have to make sure that you're typing in whatever is due. So for period 2, for example, today nothing is due, but you should type in like today you're going to create goal. Okay, that would be one thing you're doing today. Another thing you should do is a complete Monday slide. And then maybe you're going to add your celebration. Okay, then maybe you're going to tell me by tomorrow, on Tuesday, your goal is to, for period 2, complete Jamboard and TRF. Then you should have like the Tuesday slide. And then maybe you're visiting the celebrations to like reply to other people's, because sometimes you have to come back to it. Okay, and then as far as like Wednesday goes, we know that a big assignment is due. We have our tutorials at 12:30. And we know that your pre-work is due that morning at 9 a.m. And then I would just kind of keep going for that week, like making sure that on Friday, something that you need to note too is that Friday we have our weekly logs due. Reflect on goal. And then we want to make sure that you're doing your grade check. Okay, so all of that could be what's due, and you guys can see the difference between what's due and what you're doing that day. And then as a reminder, remember that as you're typing this out, you only have to type in this left-hand part once, and then you can just copy and paste it on your other slides so that your information stays there. Okay, and then this is the same as last week, so just make sure that you're filling in this box. Like if you're doing a great job in that class and you're going to put green, you feel really good. Yellow means you feel like so-so in that class. Maybe you have some missing assignments. Maybe you didn't do so well in the last test. And then red means like you're not feeling so good about that class. And if you're in the red zone, then the goal is that we're really reflecting and reaching out for help if we are there. And remember that I'm here if you guys need any help. Don't forget to make sure that you are reflecting at the end of the week so that you're telling me how you did with your goal. Okay, and then the following slides just tells you what your grade is. And the date's wrong on that, sorry. So it should be May 1st. But it just tells you 60 points are for you filling out your daily to-do list every day. You get 20 points for your goals and 20 points for your grade check at the end of the week. So that's just kind of a little checklist for you. So here on the left-hand side, just make sure that you're filling in your classes because you get subtracted a point for each class that you don't fill in. And then here, make sure that it says 2 points per class, write your assignment topic that you're learning. So just make sure that you're doing that because you get 1 point for 2 points for doing it, and then you get -1 if you don't highlight when you complete the work that you're finishing. And then for this point, this is more for you, so you're not really getting points on this section for now. And then this just kind of tells you like your goals. That's kind of how you're being graded. So 2 points for each one. Each slide is worth 10. So 10 for the beginning of the week, 10 for the end of the week. And then just making sure that you're completing your grade check. So it's basically like 1 point for each little box. Okay, so that's really it that I have for now. But I wanted to close the week by adding our own weekly celebration, which is something that I want to do now so we can like really focus on some positivity. But I wanted to recognize one person in particular from our class. Even though many of you guys are doing a great job, I'm going to at least try to recognize one from each class. And our class, I want to give a huge shout out to Naomi because you're doing a really great job. You showed up to our tutorials, to our class times, and everything that you're turning in, I can tell you're turning in with a lot of effort. So thank you so much for working so hard, and I look forward to honoring a lot of you in the future weeks for all the hard work you're doing too. And with that being said, that's the end of our video, so please let me know if you have any other questions.